An unpanicking, unwavering Matteo Jorgensen picking his way up this climb, and the first real casualty from that front group is now Romandie.
Yeah, Romandie now, I think he's also suffering from all these early attacks, which also makes us think that maybe his early attacks was to prepare the second or the ultimate part of the race for his young teammates. Poole. We've seen Poole ride always in control, always well positioned, not reacting to any of the attacks, so it could be that Bardet's role was to try and make that race difficult for Poole, which seems to be working. He's still impressing in the front now, riding Jorgensen on his wheel.
Well, Max Tool moves through to the front. Brooks takes the slightly shorter inside line, which will be ever so slightly steeper. As you can see, just by the speed and also the fact that Yates has put the chain on to the big ring. We are now to the final 2 kilometers of the 4th stage of the Tour of Romandie. Another attack now from the tenacious, pugnacious man here, Thibaut Pinot. Attacks again. He loves these conditions into the snow line here in the Tour of Romandie, and that is a significant gap here, Nico.
Yes, that's a very big attack now from Thibaut Pinot. In the last 2 kilometers, he's clearly opened the gap, and he seems to be coming back very quickly onto Yates. It'd be great to see a larger wide shot now.
Yeah, that's a nice gap. Look at the snow there on the right, the snow banks on the left-hand side. Pinot affords a glance over the shoulder, and there is clear daylight between him and the group being led still by Matteo Jorgensen. He is the yellow jersey elect, but it looks like, as it stands at the moment, that could go to Adam Yates. But Pinot is closing the gap to Adam Yates. It's crucial if Yates wants any chance of taking the yellow jersey that he takes that time bonus as well, because it is still very tight at the top. We're coming in now to the final 1,000 meters. We go over the crest of the climb. So they take the mountains point and they continue on for another 600 metres and to the finishing line. But Pinot looks like he might get across the gap here, Nico.
Yes, he's coming really strong. It was the first attack. I think he was testing the opponents, but when he went that second time, look how fast he's opened up the gap, about 7-8 seconds, and about 5 seconds behind Yates.
Yates again finds another gear, finds another sprocket, and leans on it again. And that particular style that he has, it's so dramatically effective, and after initially shutting the gap down very quickly, Thibaut Pinot has started to slow ever so slightly, but the man that cannot respond to those stinging explosive attacks is Matteo Jorgensen. But what he is doing is riding his own race. 1,400 metres to go as Yates again takes the shortest racing line, hugging the inside, round the bend, rolling that gear line around, deep into the slow line now. It's very tight at the top. And Pinot, a reminder of his position on the general classification. He sits a minute down, Yates sits 30 seconds down, but Ayuso is now out of the picture, and the leader on the road is indeed Matteo Jorgensen. What can Yates do, and what can Jorgensen do in the closing meters of this race? But at the moment, Nico, Yates is looking superb.
Yes, Yates is looking really good, and as you mentioned, the initial attack from Pinot, he has that capability of really having a very high-speed, punchy attack, and then he kind of settles into his speed. One of the ideas that you think that he's not overly confident is he keeps on looking back. He's not 100% convinced. Where normally when you're in that position and you know you have the legs to bridge across, you don't look back, you only look what's happening in front. So he must be at this moment really in pain and just making sure and seeing what's happening behind. But the group behind is led still by Jorgensen, who's just TT mode all the way up. He knows he has a cushion, not too many seconds, but he knows if he can keep it within that 20 seconds, he will still be in the race leader tonight.
Very tight at the top. This is an absolute thriller, but Yates rounds that corner briefly. It goes out of sight of Thibaut Pinot. What is the gap? It's only about 4 or 5 seconds to Pinot. It's actually opened up to the group behind, still being led by the white jersey at Matteo Jorgensen. With him, Jan Utterbrooks of Bora Hansgrohe, Damiano Caruso, the Italian of Bahrain victorious, and the incredibly talented Max Poole of Great Britain and the Team DSM. And on his own, just behind Romandie, and then Eddie Dunbar, 21 seconds back. Then we have Micah and Simon Carr. This field spread all over this mountain of Tion 2000. As this man, Thibaut Pinot, continues to drive hard, still on the big the big ring there. Is he closing the gap? Those last few meters are going to be so difficult to close, but there's another acceleration here by Pinot.
Yes, he's really putting it, really battling his way in the last kilometre of this race, kilometre and a half of the race. He's maintaining the gap with Yates. Yates knows he has to get it up. He wants to have those 10 seconds. There's probably about 15 seconds. He's thereabouts for the lead of the overall lead for playing about give or take 5 to 8 seconds. It's going to be very tight for Yates and for Jorgensen, and Pinot's in the middle trying to make the best of the situation. What a thrilling finish.
An absolute thriller of a finish here. The time bonus is going to be very helpful to Adam Yates. Started the day at 30 seconds, 12 seconds behind Jorgensen. That is the gap that separates him. It looks like he is going to take the stage though. Adam Yates out of the saddle one more time, churning those pedals. It looks as if it's going to be the second World Tour victory for Adam Yates. Back-to-back wins for UAE Team Emirates after that sensational TT win of Juan Ayuso yesterday. He looks around again, and with that 10-second time bonus and looking at the gap behind to Matteo Jorgensen, it looks like Adam Yates is going to propel himself into the lead of the Tour of Romandie. A superb victory for the man from Bury, for UAE Team Emirates. One more turn of the pedals for Yates. A final glance round and victory is his. Adam Yates takes the win at Top Tion 2000 with a 10-second time bonus, and looking at the gaps, the yellow jersey too. A superb ride by Thibaut Pinot for a second place, possibly moving himself up onto the podium, and this is the all-important battle for the minor placings. It looks like it's going to be Damiano Caruso who's going to take third place, Paul in fourth, Jorgensen fifth, and sixth place Sian Brooks. Well, breathless stuff there, and a superb victory there from the man from Bury, Adam Yates there.
It's been a great battle, a great show they've put on for us. Oh, trying to go on the inside. You think it'd be the road's wide enough?
This is going to be a top 10. Yeah, sorry, a top 10 performance here for Egan Bernal. Only 51 seconds shy of the time from Adam Yates. That is an encouraging performance, to say the very least. Eddie Dunbar in that group. Thomas